It was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be
forward.
like a horse with blinkers on.
Honestly say, I was about to have
Corrupt
sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
I'm Marlene Leroux. I'm 53-year-old and I'm very proud of my age, middle age. I'm not yet over, I'm still very active. I'm a facilitator at Artscape. I say I facilitate people.
I'm Shanae Yuga and I'm 29 years old and I'm a singer.
My name is Yusupo Soldat. I'm 25. I'm a freelance director as well as writer.
I'm Annalyn Matiba. I'm a model, actress, and presenter, as well as the founder of Proud Albinism.
We're going to kick off with just talking about the COVID-19 pandemic and how it has affected us individually in our lives, particularly as persons with disabilities. So just how has it affected you? How has it impacted your life and the lives of people in your community?
When COVID started, it was March and I had so much shows lined up for my year and everything got cancelled in about 2 weeks. I had no job, no income. And also I stayed at home for 56 days. I was afraid to go out. You don't know what it's out about, and with everything happening, I was just scared to even go to face people. And it's 5 months now, and I found a work, and still just doing virtual shows. Yes, but my heart goes out to every other musician, singer out there. It's been difficult. It's been a difficult 5 months for everyone.
Thank you so much, Shana. And could you just tell us a little bit about the job that you're doing now instead of singing? I know that you are working crazy hours.
Yeah, so I've sent out my CV at the end of March just to have an income and to provide for myself. So I'm working for an international company as a virtual receptionist. I'm working from 1 a.m. in the morning till 9 a.m. in the morning. So it is crazy hours, but it's something also I love and it brings the income in. So it's something to really look forward to, as well as singing. So I can do everything now. I can work in the morning and sing in the evening when everything is back to normal again.
So thank you. And so thank you for even being here, because you've barely slept, of course. You've worked throughout the night. Well, all of us hopefully have slept. So we really appreciate your presence, Shanae. Thank you. Marlene, would you like to share with us, my sister?
When COVID-19 struck, I then realized when the president have announced the disaster, and that the pandemic has arrived at South Africa, he didn't mention anything for persons with disabilities. And I needed to, again, just get into the mode of activism, forgetting that I'm actually disabled myself, because I've realized then, being disabled myself, but being a parent with a child with a disability and going into isolation, the government didn't unpack this to say for persons with disability, you're going to be on your own, without a carer, without perhaps you sitting somewhere else, without your family. That's going to be a death sentence for you, because you need assistance. And that struck me with immediate effect. I then wrote to the president by spelling it out very clearly, in a very nice, because I first of all said, thank you very much that you were proactive by doing this, but there's a community that has not been looked after, as per se. It's not about a grant. It is it's all encompasses, because the grant in itself is not a living wage. It's about the clinics that's not operating. You don't get physio. If you're a parent who has a child with cerebral palsy, you need assistance. All of that, the special needs schools closed down. The parents, you need to go back with your wheelchair or whatever disability you do have, back into the shacks, back into if you're poor. All of that played off, and that had a tremendous effect on my mental health.
I think with me, I had to go home, when they started out because I was scared of being infected because Johannesburg was a hotspot for the virus. So when I went home, I actually got the virus, so it was very worse. I can tell you it's no joke. Yeah, to work. So much has changed, regarding this current situation that we're in right now. So much has changed to a point where things are not the same as they used to be. Okay, it's not really accessible like it was before. It has made it 10 times more worse than how it was before. I kept thinking of, people that are actually living in homes of disabled people that cannot even be able to take care of themselves, people that rely on caregivers to take care of them. I kept thinking of people who cannot even be able to wash their actually hands um, with soap and water, or maybe just apply sanitizers, as they say all the time. I myself struggle because I use one hand, as you can see, to apply sanitizer. So I feel like at some point it has really crippled us, this pandemic. But however, we move, I guess, yeah.
For me, being an artist during lockdown, my goodness, it's horrible because I was supposed to be overseas making some money. A few days before the lockdown was going to happen, I think a day after we were supposed to travel to Europe. And now I'm here at home. I can't even make any money. I'm depending on my mom for some stuff. So when I was supposed to go to Europe, I was supposed to go and perform. I'm part of a play called Mama, I Want the Black That You Are. Mama, I Want the Black That You Are is a play about albinism awareness, and it teaches people about the prejudices that we face, the hardships that we face, and it's about a young girl named Matlakala who's raped by her stepfather. The stepfather rapes her because he believes that he will cure himself from AIDS by sleeping with a young girl that has albinism. So this play tries to eliminate the myths about us people with albinism. That is not true. We don't have any magical powers. There's nothing magical about us. We are only human. We are God's most beautiful creations.
Thank you. That's so wonderful. So you've missed out on your whole tour, and you've suddenly found yourself at home. Where do you think we are as women with disabilities in this post-democratic watershed moment?
In the disability sector, we still sit very much with sexism and patriarchal systems that is there. And women are usually silenced in these meetings and these organizations, because it is so important that we still stereotyping that if you're disabled, you can't be sexist, you can't be racist, you can't beat up a woman, or you can't be rude or whatsoever. And that stereotyping needs to stop, and it needs to start with us as women with disabilities and call out these perpetrators. And we have another factor, Shelley, which we don't talk about, is the silent abuse that we get from our carers, from family members, and we even in the school system, where sometimes with mental health disabilities, that the young women can't speak, but everybody knows that that particular person is molesting that particular young girl. So there should be, where when we talk about where we are with women's issues and challenges that we do have, although the government are talking about the triple BEE, that's looking at Black women and especially for empowerment, it is just a legislation, but it's not the implementation. So my concern is that we have all these policies in the world, and very emancipatory policies, very policies that is really beyond. When we talk about proactive policies, it's the political willpower. It is about a societal change and coming right through to on ground level. And that is what I want to say to you, Shelley, that we haven't yet started with, especially with women with disabilities and their challenges that they have.
And of course, we all know that women with disabilities are more likely to be abused, are more likely to be unemployed, are more likely to be living in poverty. So it is really disgusting, actually. There's no other nicer way to say it. That we are still so far behind as we mark the 1956 march to the Union buildings in the struggle for equality. Zizi, I want to come back to you. Are you with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
So I was just saying that we actually, when I invited you to come to this discussion, I hadn't known that you had the virus, and I'm so glad that you are still here with us, healthy, looking as gorgeous as ever. But can you maybe just take us a little bit through the challenges that you faced in your healing process, particularly as a woman with a disability, and what kind of care and support you needed and that you didn't have?
What happened was I got severely sick and I didn't know what to do with it. And the problem is it was a stigma, you know. First of all, I'm disabled, okay. That is also another topic for another day. But it was very, very hard because I was not able to tell anyone that, okay, this is how I feel. I think I have the symptoms. Or maybe I think I'm feeling sick, because everyone is actually scared of this virus. And I just had to stay at home, I guess, make sure that I get all the medication I needed to actually be able to be well again. But however, it was really, really hard for me. Also, because I also have anxiety, it maximized actually the symptoms of, you know, what I had, because I would feel sick at times, but I would really sick. But sometimes I would feel like I'm very sick, but it was all in my head at other times. So.
And of course, the loneliness and the isolation that you experience, and that many other people with disabilities are experiencing in care homes, particularly. And it's also been found that, you know, loneliness really actually affects your physical health and well-being, because we are social creatures, we need to connect. But that level of care is even less felt when you are a person with a disability.
My dream for society is for people with albinism, people with all kinds of disabilities to be a norm, you know, especially coming to the media and sending a message, especially in the modeling world, because beauty is so stigmatized. You're supposed to look a certain way to be beautiful, but beauty comes in all shapes, all sizes, all colors. Everybody is beautiful in their own way.
My dream would be for us to be united, for us to be recognized, for us to break barriers, because I believe we have potential. All we need to do is to just go out there and kill it and make them see that we are here and we are here to stay.
I want to say the time of silent diplomacy is over. The time that we just need to be grouped in certain disability groups, it's also over. As a collective and inclusive society with our parents, we now need to start a movement. And we now need to say this movement needs to say enough is enough. It's not just anymore about slogans. We are not anymore interested in policies. We want action. So, Mr. President, we are watching you. And watch this space. We are coming for you.
Everyone is so quick to say you have a disability. It's not a disability at all for me. And then there's a song that says, somewhere there's a place for us, there's a time for us. But if we all take each other's hands, and I think in the community as well, as a person living with a disability, I think if all of us take hands and work together, we will be a magnitude and a force to be reckoned with. And I think, that, like Marlene said, we are coming, and we're almost there. We are.
Yeah, Z, you should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong. You should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong.